from the Thermal Club IndyCar Grand Prix. This is Get Revved Up, Coachella Valley. Here's your host, Sports Director Blake Arthur.
It's time to get revved up, Coachella Valley. I'm Sports Director Blake Arthur here at the Thermal Club for the inaugural IndyCar Grand Prix race. And what better way to start our special show than me getting inside a vehicle, one of the fastest race cars you'll ever see. What a thrill it was. All right, Nick, let's go.
No, we're not going to take that one. We're going to take this one over here. So I got a helmet for you. We'll hop in this yellow car right here.
Oh my goodness. Bumblebee. Are you sure?
Yeah, why not?
Oh my gosh. All right, let me get this helmet on. This is a sweet looking car, man.
It handles very good. It's street legal, this particular one as well.
I sure hope so. My life's on the line here, Tim.
No,
Let's do this. Wish me luck. This car's what, 200 grand?
Hi, buddy. 1.1. Going price for one of these?
1.1 million? Did you hear that, bro?
Not here. It's $1 million car.
It's $1 million car.
Oh, yeah. So it just went into track mode. You feel it lower down and everything?
Yeah, I felt that.
You ready?
I'm ready. I'm scared, but I'm ready. Let's go. This thing handles like a champ, Nick.
Oh, yeah, this thing's amazing.
So how do you keep it from fishtailing out?
You can feel it as a driver when you get used to it. You can feel what the car's doing. You kind of drive by the seat of your pants a lot of times. And you can force the car to do it if you want to. You'll feel here in a second when we get to a slower corner.
Well, I don't want us to fishtail out. My heart's out of my chest, man.
Wow, now we're doing normal road speeds again.
Now I can breathe, man. That was incredible. Good driving, Nick. Thanks for keeping me alive. I was concerned. Oh my gosh. Oh. Woo! All right, how do I get out of this thing?
There's a button right there. Yeah. Just push out.
Well, I survived. All right. Good driving, man. Thank you. That was so fun. Scared fun. How fun was that? What a ride. Clearly I survived as I'm still here at the Thermal Club, and our special continues. Get revved up, Coachella Valley. We saw what it's like inside the car, but how about in the garage, behind the scenes with the maintenance crews who put so many hours to make these cars the special cars that they are.
All right, boys, let's get to work.
This is pretty cool. Tell us about the garage and what these guys do here.
So here in the Thermal Club, we take care of most of the cars on track that are here with us. So we work on a little bit of everything. Ferraris, Porsches, BMWs. We try to work on the entire gamut of cars. It's hard to find a mechanic anywhere in town to work on a race car. There's not a lot of them. So we try to do it here in-house and keep all these things running. Generally, a race car, you figure if it's on track for an hour, it's going to need about an hour's maintenance.
Okay, so it's usually like 1-to-1 ratio.
Yeah.
On track for 4 hours, needs about 4 hours of maintenance.
Yeah.
And is that pre or post on the track?
We kind of split it up. So pre, you have certain pre-checks before the car goes on track, and then certain things you check post after it comes off, and then you do your maintenances.
It's like a computer in here.
Yeah, so a lot of driver adjustments for these cars. We have traction control, 2 different settings for that. We have ABS settings so we can adjust how the analog brakes work, brake bias adjustments. We have a lot of stuff on the steering wheel, so it's right there for the driver. You never have to move your hands. And then you have the full data of what's going on with the car in front of you. Wow. So we radios, headlights, windshield washers, turn signals, all those kinds of things are right here on the steering wheel, including your drink bottle. So you can take a drink in the car while you're there because it gets really hot inside of a race car. The way the car's taken care of, your crew, makes a huge difference. You can take the best driver. If you don't have the best car, he's not going to be able to perform. And an IndyCar is much more maintenance intensive than even any of the cars we run. You're probably looking at 4 or 5 hours of maintenance for every hour the car's on track.
Who is the most important part of the maintenance kind of pit crew person?
It's always the lead technician on the car. So you'll have a car chief. He's the guy that knows every inch of the car. So he'll know every nut, bolt, everything from front to rear of that car and exactly what's going on with it.
And what are they looking for when they do make those stops? You know, like obviously tire pressure and other things. But
yeah, I mean tire pressures, wing angles. You know, looking over the car, they'll pull data constantly while the car's actually on track running. They have two-way communication with the car for data systems. So they're actually looking at all the details from the car while the car's on track.
The amount of stress put on these vehicles with the high rates of speed, I imagine that, you know, self-care, if you will, for the cars is at a premium. They take a lot of maintenance. So how do you guys kind of manage the workload and all of that?
Yeah, so we make sure with the guys at the track, they log every time the car's on track, how long it's on track, and then there's a maintenance schedule by the manufacturers for these cars like this. Ferrari is very specific in when everything needs to be done and how often. So we keep track of exactly when the cars run, how often they run, and try to keep up with the manufacturer's suggested service intervals, which is much more often than your normal street car.
Well, if you think that was awesome, just wait. We have so much more here at the Thermal Club for our special Get Revved Up Coachella Valley on News Channel 3. Welcome back to our special here on News Channel 3, Get Revved Up Coachella Valley. We've seen what it's like behind the scenes in the garage. We've also seen what it's like to be a passenger inside one of these cars. But what's it like to be a driver? Our Kenji Ito caught up with Marcus Ericsson, a former IndyCar champion. Take a look at that right now.
We all know what race car drivers do on the track, but how about off the track? Well, I got to catch up with the one and only Marcus Ericsson.
It's a lot of adrenaline, you know, driving these cars. We do 200 to 230 miles an hour in some tracks, so that adrenaline kick you get from that is pretty crazy.
It takes a special kind of person to be a race car driver. And it takes a lot more to be the best in one of the most demanding and dangerous sports in the world.
It comes a lot with physical training, but also mental training. It's something I've worked with throughout my career to be strong mentally. Our race is up to 2 hours long, so you need to stay laser focused for those 2 hours. And at those speeds, the smallest, tiniest mistakes can end up being that you crash into the wall. So it's really, you know, high intensity, and you need to be mentally very, very strong.
This job comes with a lot of stress and pressure to perform, making it that much more important for drivers to take care of themselves off the track.
It's a lifestyle for sure. I enjoy it. I like traveling, seeing new places, and, you know, meeting new people. So that's one of the cool parts with the job, I think. And you know, every track has its own challenge because they're all different. It requires different setup, different driving styles, and then, you know, different climates as well. So it's a cool thing that we get to see.
That is not the only challenge that these athletes face, especially for drivers like Ericsson.
For me, being from Sweden, obviously that's far away from my family, and they all live back there, so that's tough. But I have my wife here with me, so she lives with me in Indianapolis and comes with me to most races. So that's really, you know, a big support.
Like anything in life, despite the difficulties, it's worth it in the end.
Pretty cool, and yeah, it's a pretty good job to have as a daily job.
And it was great to catch up with the one and only Marcus Ericsson. With the race being this Sunday, and if you can't make it to the Thermal Club, you can come here to 360 Sports at Agua Caliente in Rancho Mirage to watch the whole race. Reporting in Rancho Mirage, Kenji Ito, News Channel 3.
Thanks, Kenji. Awesome to catch up with Marcus Ericsson. And look, obviously the drivers get a lot of the credit, but make no mistake about it, IndyCar is a team sport. We had the chance to catch up with some of the mechanics and their important role in the success of these racing teams.
Yeah, it's fast-paced and hectic. I'm on the stand with Felix Rosenquist, working with the engineers on the radio with him. Things evolve quickly here, so you got to stay on top of it as quick as you can. You know, working with the engineers, where they're at balance-wise with the cars, working with the drivers, what they need, keeping everything organized with the crew guys so we're prepared for Sunday.
We all know how fast the drivers go and how quick the pit crew operates. But truly, how fast do they need to be?
So if we can do 4 tires and full load of fuel in under 6.5 seconds, we're happy with that.
Being a part of the pit crew is a job that requires someone with a special skill set, especially working in high-intense situations. But how do they stay calm in the heat of the moment?
We do a lot of mental training. We have pit stop coach that we work with, mental coaches that the guys work with. You know, an IndyCar race, it's not like NASCAR, where our mechanics are also our pit stop guys. So, you know, when we do the morning warm-up on Sunday, they're out there working on the car. They got to come back here, work on the car.
As soon as the driver takes off, the bond between the pit crew and driver could never be broken, especially since the crew has their eyes on the car all the time.
We'll ask them how the balance of the car is, meaning does it need more grip? Is the car too loose? Does he want to add some front wing where we can turn the knob on the front wing to adjust it? Does he need a tire pressure change? So just getting ready for the next set of tires, which also could be primaries or alternate tires as well.
As this is the first year that IndyCar has come to the desert for a real race with so much at stake, the pit crew is taking all the elements of the terrain into account.
Yeah, the heat affects it a lot. It also affects the drivers a lot. You know, obviously it's our first official race here at Thermal, so it's a lot of unknowns. A lot of our engineers have a lot of work to do after practice tomorrow to see where we're at with the tires. So it's a bit of a guessing game right now.
In Thermal, Kenji Ito, News Channel 3.
Thanks, Kenji. Great to see that story behind the scenes with the mechanics as we continue with our special Get Revved Up Coachella Valley. Coming up after the break, we are calling all foodies. Everybody's got to eat, right? Stick around. You don't want to miss it. You're watching News Channel 3. Get Revved Up Coachella Valley. Welcome back to our special show here, Get Revved Up Coachella Valley. It's time to take a pit stop as we check out all the great food options here at the inaugural IndyCar Grand Prix race. Our Allie Anthony has more.
From mouth-watering barbecue to creative sandwiches and coffee that'll give your engine the boost it needs, get ready to race to these delicious flavors.
There's something tasty for everyone at the Thermal Club. Sure, you're here for the incredible races, the views, the experience, but what's a great event without great food? CV Barbecue, an Indio staple, will be on site with their specialties.
We have our famous tri-tip sandwich, awesome, everyone loves it. We're also going to pair it with a pulled pork sandwich and one of our famous popular sandwiches called the Marf. It's a tri-tip sandwich with our awesome mac and cheese on top of it. And then finally, we're going to have a plate that you can order. It's going to be a 2-meat plate, tri-tip, pulled pork, mac and cheese, and barbecue beans.
And if cars racing at 180 miles per hour right in front of you doesn't boost your adrenaline, you might need some caffeine. There's no better place to get your midday pick-me-up than from Coachella Valley Coffee.
We're serving our award-winning drip coffee and then our cold brew. And that cold brew took me 2 years to create that recipe. And we estimate we'll go through about 150 gallons of it this weekend.
Vanilla sweet cream cold brew.
Vanilla sweet cream cold brew. That's amazing.
TKV Bakery will also be a part of the Grand Prix. They're serving up their signature sandwiches.
We're gonna do the trump card. We're gonna do a hot pastrami, a chicken chipotle, and then a turkey club.
All right, we got our chicken chipotle.
Wow. Okay, I need to take a bite. My goodness, this thing is massive. Mmm.
The Indy 500 Grand Prix is the first of its kind in the Valley, and all of these restaurants are thrilled to be a part of it.
We're a big staple in this valley, so it's a blessing to be involved in something like this.
We are truly blessed because this is another international event where Little Coachella Valley Coffee gets face time.
Being a local business here, you know, the 6 months out the year is where we make most of our money, so, you know, we work hard.
Cheers from Thermal, Allie Anthony, News Channel 3.
You know, with this big race here at the Thermal Club, the inaugural IndyCar Grand Prix, it got us thinking about the history of racing here in the Valley. Garrett Hoddle brings us the legacy of love for horsepower here in the desert.
What if I told you Palm Springs in the 1950s was fast cars, Hollywood stars, and a whole lot of danger?
I had just bought a $30,000 house, was making about 25 grand a year, and begged, borrowed, and stole money and paid $15,000 for that Ferrari. Had no furniture in the house.
Like David Christian in a number 11 Ferrari. By today's standards, the Palm Springs Vintage Grand Prix races of the 80s and 90s were insanity, but a dream of one wild man, Keith McCormick, today president of Palm Springs Exotic Car Auctions.
The mayor of Palm Springs, Frank Bogart, phoned up the Chamber of Commerce and said, is there anybody there that can put on a Grand Prix to race cars around the streets of Palm Springs, because I've had some racing greats from the Los Angeles area want to know if it can be done again like back in the 50s.
But in the 80s, he was the man who brought speed back to the city. He saw Palm Springs not just as a resort town, but the perfect place for a high-speed showdown. And so the Palm Springs Vintage Grand Prix was born.
We got 20,000 people for the first race.
For over a decade, classic Ferraris, Porsches, and Jaguars screamed down Amato Road just feet from cheering fans. No runoff zones, no high-tech crash barriers, just fast cars, narrow streets, and pure adrenaline. The drivers, a mix of veterans and thrill-seekers, guys who lived for the rush of speed and danger, and they're all still here.
And the original circuit, look at the original circuit there. Can you imagine doing like we did, 150 mile an hour down Tarquitz Way?
Now a new generation of speed comes to town. From the fearless risk-takers of the 50s to the street racing showdowns of the 80s, Palm Springs has always been home to those who live for speed. This weekend, the engines fire up once again at Thermal.
Coming up after the break, how did we get here? How do we have a race in the middle of the desert? We're going to take a look at the behind the scenes of the undertaking of what it took to put this race on. Stay with us. You're watching News Channel 3. Get revved up, Coachella Valley. Welcome back to our special here on News Channel 3. Get revved up, Coachella Valley. How did this race come to be? Well, we're going to take a look behind the scenes at the massive undertaking. This was no small feat by any means. And as the old saying goes, teamwork makes the dream work. Kendall Flynn with the story.
It's a massive endeavor.
The Thermal Club has been preparing for the IndyCar Grand Prix since last year, something they feel honored to be hosting.
It's one of the top race series in the country. And being able to host an event for them that's a full-fledged event is kind of a big deal. There's a lot of tracks that have been around for 30, 40 years couldn't accomplish.
While this is the Thermal Club's first sanction race with IndyCar, in the last 3 years they've also done a test and $1 million challenge, making it an easier transition. But the track prep still came with its challenges.
We had to have the right asphalt here so it can have the freezing temperatures and then the hot temperatures without cracking. I didn't realize there's the water table's 8 to 10 foot below us. So you can't dig down and make a track. You have to bring dirt in.
General Manager of Track Operations Nicholas Rhodes says the biggest difference between IndyCar and typical races is the high speed, which requires extra safety precautions.
There's a lot of extra tire barriers. So for IndyCar, we have to make a lot more tire barriers.
While preparing for the drivers and pit crew can be a challenge, they're also preparing for nearly 5,000 people who attend the race weekend.
Every outlet that we have that's offering food and beverage, we have to plan for that, and all of the people ordering the trophies, ordering the retail, the florals that you'll see.
These bleachers took nearly a week to put together, each section holding 500 people for a total of 2,000 just to watch the IndyCar race.
It's all about every aspect of what the fans and the members are going to experience while we have our IndyCar race here from arrival to departure.
Reporting in Thermal, Kendall Flynn, News Channel 3.
Kendall, thank you for that awesome insight. Obviously, it takes a lot of hard work to put a race like this on. And speaking of hard work, I want to personally thank the Thermal Club for all they've done to allow us to be here and provide coverage of this awesome inaugural IndyCar Grand Prix race. And obviously want to thank our team at News Channel 3 as well. It's been a treat to work with everyone behind the scenes, and it's been a lot of work on our behalf. But a first ever race, well, we did it. That's going to do it. The show is over, but don't forget about the race. 12 noon on Sunday on Fox. It's going to go through 2:30. We, of course, have the coverage for you right here on KESQ News Channel 3. And don't forget, get revved up, Coachella Valley.
News Channel 3 is now available on any of these streaming services. Watch live and on demand